Hello folks, welcome to another episode. In today's video we're going to be working on this Chinese boxwood micro foliage. So before we start on this boxwood, what I want to do is I want to also show you a little update of this other boxwood that we have been working on for, I think it's almost 2 years now. As you can tell, it has been putting off some actual growth, but it doesn't show as much because what I've been doing is that I've been just pinching the tips just like I do with most of my other trees. So let me bring you in a little bit closer so I can show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so as you might be able to tell, right here we're starting to have a split of branches over here. Let's see, is this focusing? Alright, so right there we have a split of branches, and in the same spot right here we had actually just cut back the branch just a little bit. In between the leaves right here you have more new buds growing, so by cutting back where the leaves are, you can have 2 branches growing off opposite directions. So what I like to do is that during this early spring and late fall, because these are practically evergreen bushes, I cut back just a little bit to increase ramification, and as a result we have a split of branches like we do have over here. What I would be doing shortly on this boxwood as well is I'm just going to go ahead and practically re-establish the branches in certain positions with the wire, and I'm just going to be cutting off the tips of each branch so that we can have a third branch of ramification. But yeah, this right here is the boxwood that we have been working on. I'm pretty sure, I think I have about 2 videos on it so far, and I'm gonna go ahead and just link them up above. But for now, let's just go ahead and tackle the big one. So this boxwood right here I acquired about, I want to say 6 months ago, probably a little bit more than that. And so far the whole entire boxwood has already had its original shape. All I've been doing right now is just practically cutting back a little bit, and I'm going to be doing the same thing as with the little one. I'm going to cut back on the branches just to see if I can increase the ramification, and I'm just going to go ahead and wire some of the branches and put them in the position where I'm going to want to have them in. Yeah, let's get in closer so that we can go ahead with the process, so I can show you what I actually do to increase ramification on these little trees. Alright, so as you might be able to tell from this branch over here, I had done some prior cutting to it, and that was, I think, in the late winter. So what I'm also going to do right now is just practically go ahead and do the same basic things I did to the other one, which is just practically cutting the tips of each little branch. Now this might be a bit tedious at first, but I guarantee you that by doing so you definitely increase the chances of producing more branches. One of the other things about working with these boxes right here, let me show you down here, is that, for example, so you can cut back as far as you want to in order for you to have the same type of length throughout the whole entire pad that we have over here. But yeah, going back to the same thing, we're going to be working from the bottom to the top so that we don't miss anything, and after that we're going to go ahead and start placing the branches into position. So this might be a time lapse, but I'll get you to the final result. Okay. Alright, so we have removed a lot of the foliage already, and what I decided to do was to leave some of the little sprouts over here so that eventually this right here can become a branch and we can cover some of those areas right there. As you might notice, I also left some wire here, but that's because I wanted to lower some of the branches in hopes that I might also have some other growths over here for me to be able to manipulate with the same exact wire. Now I'm just trying to decide on the height of the tree. So ideally what I want to do is to just probably bring down this apex just a little bit with some wire. But what I could also do is I can probably cut right over here and just have this branches right here become the new apex. But as I'm turning the tree around, I think it's about right over here. If I bring you in a little bit closer, this to me seems like a good front of the tree, and as well as this right over here. Now the problem is that depending on which direction you want to put it in, you might actually find it better to just cut back this portion of the tree. But boxwoods tend to grow a little bit slowly than other type of trees, so the trunks don't thicken as much and faster as the other ones. So in order for me to have the same height, I think what I want to do is just mainly manipulate those branches, bring them down a little bit, and try to just fix the apex right over here. But ultimately, as you notice too, I have it on a round pot, and that is because at the end I want to be able to have it in a container where you can be able to see the tree in many different angles and still be able to say that it has a faceless or a frontless type of style. But yeah, I think right now I'm just gonna go ahead and focus on the wiring the branches and see how I can fix up the apex. So this process is also going to be time lapse, so enjoy. Folks, so here you have it. I feel like overall it's going to turn out to look like a nice little tree. We did add some wire, but also because the trunk is already pretty much hardening already, and there's a lot of hardwood on it. I wanted to do was just to anchor some guide wires here to just lower the branches slowly to prevent cracking those branches. So ultimately, whenever you have something that is pretty much like this right here, it's going to be really hard for you to bend. And ultimately what you want to do is either just guide them with some wire and just anchor it to the roots, or to some wire in the pot. However, anything that's still pretty green like this right here, you can still be able to bend and you have no problems with it whatsoever. But what I would actually recommend you to do is to just check on those wires a lot, because you know we can have some biting onto those branches. Yeah, ultimately this is what we end up with, and I'm pretty satisfied with the way it looks. Either way, if I were to eventually put it in a square pot, I feel like this right here would be the front of the tree, because we have most of the trunk exposed over here, and the angle of the tree just, I don't know, I like it a lot. But like I said, I want to keep it in a circular pot, that way regardless of which way we look at it, it's still gonna look really nice. That's it for the video, folks. Hope you like it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also go ahead and subscribe and join us on Facebook. Like I said before, we're getting ready for our 3rd annual bonsai styling contest, so I hope to see you folks in there. Till then.